Welcome to week 6 of the Tonto's Demise podcast. I'm Detonator's Tonto Bull 6 champ.
I'm Huber Squashers, Tonto Bull 1 and 3 champ.
So, what did you think of that Casey Kasem intro, Delling?
It's a miracle that guy's still alive. It's like he's 95 years old.
Is he actually alive?
No, he's not actually alive. No. He's dead, Brian.
Him and Dick Clark.
Yeah, if he wasn't dyeing his hair jet black, he probably looked like Dick Clark. But, no, actually, Casey Keenum's dead. I think he was married to like a 40-year-old woman or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like a big debate going on, or a big like fuss over who the money's going to, the wife or the children. So, typical stuff like with Anna Nicole Smith when she got married to a 92-year-old guy in a wheelchair, banged him and got all his money.
Yep.
And, well, she's dead now, too, now I think about it. Jesus.
The only reason we played that song was because I got a text message from Gags the night before the Big AB trade, and he asked for a special request to be played for the opening, and he wouldn't tell me why, but I kind of figured it had something to do with AB. And it was AB and Gurley who came home to him.
Mama, I'm coming home. So they refer to Gags as Mama.
Big Mama's house.
Very weird, Gags. Did not know that you were into that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I told Gags, I was like, when you let something go, if it doesn't come back, it was never meant to be, but if it does, it's true love.
True love.
Which, he's got to break Craig's heart, because he loved AB more than anyone could.
Craig definitely had true love with AB.
Yeah.
Trust me, way more love than Gags.
He would never even give him a chance to not come back.
No, are you kidding? AB would have never left. He never did leave. Craig was never going to give AB up. Yeah, the only way was because of the contractual rule.
Yeah, and there's like tossing him around left and right. It's got to make Craig sick. Just seeing AB be treated like that,
He's being treated like a practice squad player.
Yeah, like a prostitute.
He has a pimping out AB. Poor Craig over there. He just wants to marry the guy. His business is booming. I can see it. He would even get the same hairstyle.
Yep, and we'll get into it because this was the week of trades.
It's a ridiculous week of trades.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
It gave Detling a migraine.
I literally did have a migraine. I still have a bit of a migraine. I got to say, anybody that has migraines, I feel bad for you because those things are no joke. And when people used to complain about it, I was like, get out of here. It's just a headache. It is not. You got to lay down in darkness and be forced to sit with yourself and nothing. Just silence, no words, no music. It's just you and your thoughts and this constant pain of somebody drilling into your head.
I got a text from Detling around 6 o'clock, and after reading the text, he was listed as doubtful. Mm-hmm. And I did not think he was going to make it, but he powered through, and he's here.
It's because I'm popping Advils like they're candy. Craig said he thinks that somebody must have slipped me something in my drink at Club 37. And first of all, you guys have to be invited to Club 37 to understand that joke.
Jimmy is already at.
Jimmy's been beyond.
Yeah.
We kicked him out years ago. So, but yeah, good one, Craig. I think you were right. The question is, what's one of you sons of bitches was the one that did it?
Foy?
Foy, definitely.
Yeah.
Vince would be all about it, too.
Yeah,
but his would be a happier drug.
That'd just be for fun.
Yeah, exactly. Foy just likes to see me suffer. Hence the reason, like, him and Bean always send me clown pics and stuff. So yeah. But I'm all right now. I think I'll be able to make it through.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Might have to throw me out of the house if I have to puke or something. But let's move on.
Let's get on. Ready for the show.
Unfinished business.
All right, so my first unfinished business unsurprisingly goes to Craig, but for a reason you might not expect. Detling, he goes out to Craig on your behalf. At the end of the video, I was listening to it today on the way home, and he was, upset and crying about being 1-4. Nobody cares, and except for him, which is true. And then he said, I blame Detling for this because of the 11 shuffles. And I was like, you cannot blame Detling for this. You take responsibility for your team, whether they're 1-4 or 0-5 or 4-1. So I was just sticking up for you. That's all.
Appreciate that, Brian. Hey, if that's what Craig wants to blame it on, it was the magical number 11. My jersey number. It also means number 1 twice. I'm happy about it. What can I say? Craig said, give me a number. I didn't want to be like 139
Right,
and have him click. So, and didn't you guys still end up playing first week? You? Yeah. So, own your team, Craig. Like you said, this is probably the most consistent team you've had in years. Where I think it's like every week is 172 points or something. But you're just running up against guys that have 179 points.
Exactly.
And
you had?
I don't. No, I think I had like 189. But no, that's what happens. And like I think Beans said the same thing before, where he's like, "How am I always against the highest scoring team every week or something like that?"
Yeah.
So everybody has those moments. And if you want to be considered a team of destiny, you gotta raise your team up, man. You gotta get in the win, or like Brian said, you won't be a destiny or a destiny dynasty.
No dynasty.
So
I mean, hashtag no dynasty.
hashtag. Listen, I am nowhere near counting Craig out.
No, me neither.
There's no way don't ever want to put any fire underneath him, because like we said last year, he was at 6 losses, and we're like, somebody just deliver him the last blow for the love of freaking Pete.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody did it. And then boom, he got into the playoffs, he ran away, and he went and won the championship on us. And now he has 4 and we only have 2.
This is true, but I'm not too worried right now because I haven't seen him making any moves to worry me. He used his latest waiver priority to pick up a kicker.
Oh, who was the kicker?
I don't even know. It doesn't matter.
I mean, it might.
I really don't know. But he got rid of Boswell, which is good. But I would never use my priority to get a kicker. I mean, you can get pretty much 5 kickers out there. They're going to get you pretty much the same points. The good ones, I think, are gone. And if you get lucky, you get lucky. So, maybe use that waiver priority a little smarter.
Oh, ouch. I can't remember. Was it Crosby or somebody that he got?
He might
But can you blame him for Boswell? I mean, dude, the guy literally had to sit there the game and watch them go for a 2-point conversion. That's got to be like the last straw for him.
But does he think anyone is actually out there trying to pick up a kicker on the waiver wire?
Maybe.
Apparently.
I know. I have to pick up a kicker later on. I have Tucker.
Would you use
Nobody
waiver
else?
wire? I would.
No, I would not. I would honestly just wait and pick up any schmo off the street
For 1 week.
for in this particular league. For 1 week.
Maybe because Craig it's a full-time switch and not just a fill-in. Maybe that's why he wanted a particular kicker.
That's a good point.
Because he's got rid of Boswell and he's probably going to go forward with this new kicker.
I would too. I mean, that would be incredibly frustrating to see that as 2-point conversions, fake field goals, and all this other stuff happening to you. Like, that's like, in my head, it's like 5 points a week or something, or, that I'm not getting.
Yeah.
So, and who knows? That actually probably could have helped him a couple of games. It could be 2-3 or 3-2.
That's true.
So, but, And like I was just saying about the kickers, I mean, Craig's got to do something, right? And like you said, he hasn't done much movement. I think it's particularly because of the trading that's been going on that's insane. And like Craig has said, he can't wrap his head around of all the things that's going on. And I honestly can't either. I'm kind of with him on that. We're both sitting on that bench going, we're like the 2 old retired guys watching people jog and stuff going, why would they ever do that? That doesn't make any sense. He's running barefoot.
Uh-huh.
Like, what is this new thing? Why are we trading everybody? So I think Craig's kind of just probably a lot of people probably don't want to trade with Craig either for the particular reason that they're probably not even about getting fleeced. It's probably the fact that he's Craig and they don't want him winning another championship.
Yeah,
So-
because they're afraid. Maybe they're afraid to trade with Craig. That's possible.
I mean, yeah, I'd be afraid too.
Yeah.
With that being said, nobody's offered me any trades either.
At all? Well, you've
Not-
had a couple.
Well, way before the beginning of the season, only I think maybe one,
Okay.
maybe 1 or 2, but nobody else has been offered. I thought with all this crazy trade talk, I'd get at least one offer.
Justin Borg said he thinks he's entered the friend zone when it comes to trades. Nobody will actually go all the way with him.
That's actually pretty funny.
It's funny, yeah.
That is, I mean, man,
He's trying to court people.
he's trying to court him.
Yeah.
I know, me and him, we've danced the dance a little bit, but we never went all the way. We kind of we didn't even finish the dance. Kind of was like at 8th grade, with the ruler apart. I guess that's all I gotta say about Craig.
Same here.
Same here. Okay, my next particular part of unfinished business goes out to Josh. Hey man, I want that Pyrex. Just because I didn't respond for like 2 minutes, I didn't know. I thought you were joking. I thought you were messing with me when you put, I got a present for you, Detling, and then you put present.
Yeah.
Like I was like, why? That's so mean. Why would you just say you got a present for you and then put a present on the lineup? That doesn't make sense. That makes sense to me. So I was like, have you, Josh? Then he's like, no. And then like the Pyrex thing, he's like, well, so I hope I still get the Pyrex. I was sticking up for Pyrex. I was pimping them out, making them sponsors of the podcast. Love their stuff. I would take a random box of Pyrex hopefully with matching lids.
Yeah, we did that Pyrex drop right here in the kitchen.
We did it right here to prove that it won't break. Then you got these other guys jumping on the bandwagon, Justin and Kevin. Oh, I want baking stuff. I want this. I want screw you guys. Let me get my Pyrex first. So please, Josh, may I please have my Pyrex?
Don't beg.
Don't beg. Don't beg. Brian's telling me not to beg. But
Makes you look weak.
well, as like my good friends from TLC like to say, ain't too proud to beg. So that's all I got for unfinished business. I don't really have too much going on here. What do you got, Brian?
I got something for Jimmy Huber, and I'm sure he's expecting it, but you're not going to expect this. I don't know what my unfinished business is with you. I really don't. I think you called into the show, which we'll listen to later, but I got no beef with you, man. I mean, we made a nice deal. I even said you got the better part of that deal, and I was willing to admit that. But apparently you don't like my braggadocious style, which is fair. That's fine, But when I'm winning, I'm feeling good. I'm going to tell the whole world about it, and whether they want to hear it or not. But I'm not here to tear people down, unless you want to make it about that, and we can do that. Who am I tearing down?
You'll tear anybody down the second you have a chance. Not when you're winning.
That's you.
No, it's not me. You.
Hey, when I won, I basically was just, pumping up D'Angelo Williams, talking about how great my team was. I wasn't putting anybody under the bus there. Although I was asking you, like, how it smelled down there at the bottom. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit. So, all right, so, Jimmy, if you don't like my style of winning, beat me.
Oh, that's well, I mean, he might be you with the players you gave him.
Hey, if I'm going to be the Detling to you, I'm going to have to act like the Detling to you, all right? And I'm a little disappointed because what's your matchup with Detling going to be, like a love fest?
It'll be a respectable gentleman's game.
Oh, that'll be like so boring. I mean, it might not even be matchup of the week, which usually it's a lock to be matchup of the week.
Hey, man, me and Jimmy, we turned a new leaf. We're friends. We like to talk about comic books and storylines and that beautiful beach house he has.
You're so good at complimenting people.
That beautiful wife that he has, Great.
Crystal, I love that whatever gob. It was delicious.
That pumpkin gob, it was delicious. I'm currently also eating a pumpkin roll, which is nowhere near as delicious as the pumpkin gob was.
Which she didn't make. Yeah.
No, well, that's probably the reason right there. This is a store-bought pumpkin roll.
And Detling, wow, surprisingly, Crystal's not even in the room. I was looking to see if she was around the corner because, he's like George Costanza. He's not going to tip unless you're watching.
Oh, I am nowhere near George Costanza, buddy. I tip 20 to 30% every meal. I'm turning a new leaf. I don't want to be George Costanza. I might have the look. I'm better looking than George Costanza. Let's get that.
You are. I'll give you that.
But who knows? You might have a Christmas card of a picture of me on a couch going, "Row."
We'll put that on the mantle.
I hope you will.
All right, but yeah, Jimmy, I've really got no beef with you, but if you want to do the dance, we'll do the dance.
Ooh, is it like a Garth Brooks song?
Oh, no, he didn't.
All right, for our first installment of Oh No He Didn't this year, we have gags in reference to Tree Site. So, Detling, take it away.
All right, this is a little thing of DiMaggio Theater almost, but Mr. Gags, as he calls himself on the Line app, goes, "No offense, but how are you on first place? On first place must means in first place. Oh, just looked at your roster and I thought you had different players for some reason." Tree Size goes, "Ha ha ha." Justin,
But I don't think he's really laughing.
No. Justin Before goes, "That's what Tree do."
Which is funny.
It's funny. And then Bean's like, "How am I not in last place?" All he's trying to get himself into the conversation.
This is true.
And he did it in caps. Tree Size goes, "Yep, I just do it. It's how the world works. It's all about
Balance.
checks. Yeah, balances. I was going to say checks and balances.
Okay.
And as usual, as everybody, they are ignoring Bean. And then Gags goes, "Not being disrespectful or anything, but after Green and the burger, it's a wasteland." Kevin Bean chimes in, "Although really sadly, I'm not the lowest scoring team in the league." Once again, trying to enter the conversation. And then Bahor conveniently goes, "Shut up."
To who, Kevin, I guess?
Kevin, I believe. He's like, this is not your fight. Then Tree Size goes, "True. Injuries to two of the top 3 ERs have done that," which I mean, probably wide receivers.
Yeah.
And then Bean goes, "You and Josh both are below me in that category, Juddy," which means that Kevin successfully got himself into the conversation. and the tree size has, but Raven and C Mike have been good. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
Plus Minnesota D, which yeah. And Tree is the top scoring team in the league right now. Exactly, says Tree Size. It's all working together. Bean gives him credit where it's due. And Tree Size goes on to explain, it's how I always draft. I just try to balance my roster and have balance every week if possible. And then Gag says, only 2 points separating the next two highest scores, though. Who did you have get injured? Blah, blah, blah. And then it goes up to
He's like giving him the third degree there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I do like... Yeah, he's going third degree. I just like the one part where Tree Size says, I mean, I might be starting Kenny Britt this week. And I literally did say that when I looked at it. I was like, dear God, did he just pick up Kenny Britt? Like, why does anybody pick this guy up?
I was a little shocked at the balls on this guy, Gags. You know, just because you are the juggernaut that you are, doesn't mean you can go around swinging your big dick around next to your wine bottle saying, you know, how are you in first place? True. You know, how are you in second place, sir?
If, just for comic book's sake here, if there was anybody to pick from the 12 of us that would actually be the juggernaut, it would definitely be Gags.
Probably.
Because he's got that lughead look.
Yeah.
And you put the helmet on, and he'd be like, I'm the juggernaut, bitch. And
He carries around like 20 padlocks.
Yeah, he just like run through the wall. But he'd be more, and no matter, all he ever says, I'm the juggernaut, bitch.
You would think, though, by now that he would understand it doesn't matter what Tree Size does. He's going to get a bye. It does not matter. He's the Romo of our league.
He is the Romo of our league. And going back to comic books characters, just to let you know, it'd either be you or Bigler, who would be Spider-Man, because you guys both have the sveltness of it.
Yeah, I'd probably give it to Bigler.
Okay.
He seems like he's a little bit more agile.
You think so? That guy's been smoking cigarettes since he was like 12.
true.
I think you might be able to outrun him and jump and stuff. It'd be a better training. So I don't know, but he has more of the wittiness factor going on for him.
He's got that.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys might have to have like a hybrid thing. I don't know if there was one of you guys can be Venom,
All right.
because they were. I guess he was skinny a little bit before he became Venom. So whoever you want to be, Brian.
I can see how you and Jimmy
Now, since Jimmy says you're the villain,
are becoming best friends, aren't you?
I've always said if Jimmy lives anywhere near the area where I was, I think that we could become good friends because I think we have a lot of interests.
Yeah.
I love comic books and like graphic novels and artistry of sorts, but I just don't have the talent that Jimmy does.
No one in this league does.
No, like you said, he's like, I just pulled up and I sculptured a Hulk. It wasn't my best work, but at the same time, he's like, it's the first time you ever did it. And you're looking at the picture like, that would be the best I ever did.
Ever. After 60 years of training.
Exactly. Like I quit art after 8th grade when I made a paper mache seal and they thought it was a banana. And I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to get on your good side, Jimmy, so don't confuse this, but mad props on all your art skills. I mean, I saw those birds you've been painting. Beautiful. Beautiful birds. A hummingbird, and I can't remember what the other one was, but again, not trying to, clean up our relationship. I just have to give credit where credit's due.
I didn't see those birds.
He just posted them today on Facebook.
Oh, I haven't been on Facebook today, so okay, I'll have to look at them. Probably, I love hummingbirds. I love cardinals too.
I love how our podcast goes from like trash talk to, oh, I love hummingbirds and cardinals.
Cardinal is my 37th favorite animal.
That's great. I love that comment. I do love. We actually get cardinals in my backyard. I love seeing them.
Yeah, my parents' yard too. I love to do it. I love to watch them all.
Yeah. I just hate that the St. Louis Cardinals have that mascot.
Oh, would you rather be a cardinal or a pirate? Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah, pirate, of course.
Yes, true. So, and not coincidentally, my first favorite animal was a sloth.
Ooh, that's actually Stacey Hayward's favorite animal.
I knew we got along for a reason.
You are not getting Pyrex.
I know. I take it back. I hate sloths. Come on, Josh. Give me the
They're too slow. They never crap.
They never crap?
Every 2 weeks.
Wow.
They literally stay up in their tree until they have to have a bowel movement. They'll go down, take a crap, and go right back up to their tree branch.
Wow. Interesting. I did not know that. I also know that they're excellent swimmers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they move very fast in the water.
We're learning a lot about sloths.
We are. This is a great show.
All right. I think oh no, he didn't really turn too friendly.
I forgot what we were doing when he oh no he didn't.
Gags against tree.
Oh, we didn't even attack him.
No, I did a little bit, but not much.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I mean, well, it must kill Gags that Tree Size is ahead of him, and he looks at his team saying, "There's no way that should even be in the top 6." Yet here I am with a juggernaut, and I'm not in first place. Like he's like, "I probably got this totally the whole way," but Tree Size is here for no reason at all. He just does it.
And it doesn't matter that it's Tree Size. It could be me, it could be you, it could be Crick, it could be Josh, anybody. How are you in first place?
Yeah, exactly. How am I not first place? I have the best team. I have it's like an NFL Madden All-Star club.
It is. I imagine if I actually traded Gronk to him, like, oh my God, his team would be even more stacked.
The league would lose it.
Yeah.
We're all about ready to lose it now.
But Craig's comment earlier today about, well, we're just waiting for Le'Veon Bell to be traded over somehow, some way, and then the league will be over. Yeah.
We'll just quit and go home.
Yeah. He is, according to me, the Chicago Cubs of this league.
Ooh, but we don't know if we won a championship.
That's true.
Just like the Cubs.
Yeah. We shall see.
That's like the favorite thing. Trade time, trading guys, excellent.
You sound like an injured dog.
I was trying to do like the whammy pedal.
Oh, jeez. An injured dog or Jimmy's team after last week.
Oh, ouch. Did you play Jimmy's teams last week?
I did.
Ragging on? Jeez.
Hey, if he wants to play the game, I'll play the game.
You're filling into that role, that villainous role, quite lovingly, I would say.
I have to say that I might not be talking as much if he didn't live one state away.
It's only a 4-hour drive or a 5-hour drive away, I think. Not quite sure.
Can you imagine him just showing up to one of our podcasts live?
That would be amazing.
Staring through the door.
Staring at the door, particularly Halloween. I mean, he could be a Michael Myers
That would be scary.
without the mask.
And then he'll drive back after he kicks my ass, and he'll go to work with no sleep,
True,
put a big smile on his face.
Do we even know what he does? What's his job?
He's a freelance artist right now. He works for a screen printing shop.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
Similar to what he was doing for State of Mind.
Nice.
Yeah. But apparently he's underappreciated, according to Jason. Like, his talents are just too great for that particular shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's must be more to the story than I know.
I don't know a whole lot more than that, just that apparently, like, his services are probably, you never get those kind of services at a small print shop like the one he's at.
So it's probably like just a print shop that makes like T-shirts for like the class of 2016.
Probably.
And Jimmy's got like this crazy wild design for the school, and the guy's like, no, that's too much.
Yeah, it's too much to handle.
Too much. I feel like, man. I feel like my skills are underappreciated at the casino. But of course, I mean, I don't even think you need skills to work there. So I pretty much just sit there like a monkey and twirl my hands and say 21, too much. That'll be 35 straight up and do my math, and then I just kind of go about my business. And people are like, "You're not even smiling." I was like, "It's because I'm taking your money. And, like it's not fun for me anymore. What do you want me to tell you about you want me to tell you about life? You want me to smile? I'm gonna be like, hey, buddy, you're destroying your life. You don't have a house anymore. You don't have a wife.
You just dropped 30 grand.
You're 30 grand. You are here 5 days a week. You were here 7 days a week. You're here more than I am. They had literally have a table roped off for you.
And that's not a good thing.
That's not a good thing. But I went on a tangent. I meant that I could do more than just be a gambler. Or I'm not a gambler. A dealer. I was a gambler once, but a dealer. So I just concentrate and use their money to my best of my abilities.
Fair enough. And we've spent 3 minutes of trade time not talking about trades.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But true.
This is why the show is an hour and 50 minutes long.
People love it.
I doubt it that long.
But Jimmy does have great skills, and if he's not appreciated, he should do something else.
Yeah. All right, what's the first trade, Delling?
Okay, the first trade is, first of all, let me say something here.
We are going to get to trades, right?
We are going to get to trades. I asked Craig Kubisic, I said, I don't even pay attention to how things we vote on at the draft, because I think they're all so ridiculous that we bring these things up. Mainly your draft pick keeper thing rule. I did vote against that. But I remember I said,
it's like voting for the Iraq War. I voted that down.
That's right. But I asked him, I said, is this the year that we bumped trades up from 3 to 6? And Craig said no. He said, I don't think so. He said, I don't know. I think it was 2013. And first I was shocked because Craig said, I don't know. Probably 2013. Normally he has like the stat right off top of his head. But at some point, we did bump the trades up from 3 to 6.
That's true.
And I was against this. I voted against this. Just to let you guys know. And
For this reason?
I didn't. It is for this reason. I didn't speak up to the best of my abilities. What I would have said, knowing Gags, to use Gags as a prime example, when you vote trades from 3 to 6 during the season and still give us like 16 transactions, it's like giving Hitler the power to kill a million more Jews. That's what you just did with Gags.
Make Tonto's demise great again.
No, this isn't a good thing. This is terrible. Because you also look at Gags. I went to look at his transactions. I have only done 5 transactions. Guess what? Gags has only done 5 transactions. But he's probably had at
He's
least
done 5 trades.
15 different players on his Switch's team besides those transactions.
Yeah.
So you've given him one of the greatest powers ever that we cannot take back. He's like Roger Goodell / Hitler.
But people have a mind to decide yes or no against any trade.
A mind.
A brain.
Okay. Do you think the people that support Trump have brains that are out there being poll sitters or, saying it's all right to grab a girl by the pussy? It's just locker room talk.
No.
Do you think the soldiers that were forced to kill the Jews had minds? No, they had to do what Hitler said. They fell for his talking and his propaganda and all that crap. So when it also comes to the minds, like people are trading all willy-nilly in this league, and they're not.
Are you saying he's a fascist dictator?
Somewhat, yes. But he's not our commissioner, which is a great thing. But yeah, he probably went 12 trades a year.
All right, we are now 6 minutes in
All
without
right,
talking about one trade.
Just say I'm not happy. Not happy with all these trades that are going on.
It's pretty clear.
It's borderline ridiculous.
It's because you're not involved.
No, I personally wish we couldn't even trade. I wish we could just have the players from our draft and our transactions, and that's
That's boring. There's no management.
it. There is management. It means you better pay attention at your draft.
Yeah, in the next 16 weeks, no matter what happens, 13 weeks, no matter what happens, you're stuck with that hand that you were dealt.
Well, you have the power to throw in 2 and get 2 back, with your transactions.
All right, well, that's never going to happen. What was the first trade? I feel like Bean trying to rein in Bigler.
You wish you could rein in me. First trade goes from Gags to Riches, surprise, with Twerk Kabisic, another surprise. So Josh and Gags. And I know I'm probably supposed to keep my mouth shut here because of the Pyrex, but I won't do it. Won't do it.
All right.
Josh.
I'll get you Pyrex if you don't get so, okay?
Okay. Josh traded away Antonio Brown, Arian Foster, and Frank Gore to Gags for Jason Witten, Odell Beckham Jr., Theo Riddick, Eddie Royal, and Latavius Murray.
Now, 1/4 of his team.
Yes. Now, looking at this trade, everybody's upset that they traded Antonio Brown. Why would you trade Antonio Brown? The same thing we said to Gags.
Yeah.
And Gags realized the error of his ways and traded to get it back, which is also the theme for his Mama, I'm Coming Home song by Ozzy Osbourne. Yes. Number 5 off the 1982 Casey Keenum charts. But by the way, also
Casey Kasem, by the way.
Okay, I said Casey Keenum. That's great.
That is great.
Just like the 2 Jimmy Huber brothers. Yeah. Where was I going? You threw me off my tangent. Okay. So he realized I was going to say that Ozzy Osbourne was better when he was in Black Sabbath. But anyways, you agree, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like Iron Man and fairies with their boots on and stuff.
Top 5 of all time, right?
I'm not going there today. Okay. Trying to focus on the trades.
He didn't get a Grammy, but
he didn't get a Grammy. But okay, so he traded away 1/4 of his team. Pretty much the only starter was Odell Beckham Jr., right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he started Theo Riddick once, I believe, but that's it.
If I had to side with the trade, I would say Josh wins the trade because he got a treasure chest of players back, and he needed them. Yeah. Latavius Murray is a good a running back. Theo Riddick theoretically is a good running back.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham Jr. is supposed to be.
Did you say theoretically?
I don't know if I did, but if I did, it was awesome. It was planned. And Jason Witten, who should get more balls thrown his way, and Eddie Royal. But Eddie Royal at this point is inconsequential because he's on the number 2 wide receiver role. He was picked up by a nice guy named Christine Meredith, picked up by you, Brian.
Cameron Meredith, but who's
Cameron? Yeah. Whatever. Meredith. I got that right.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, no, looking at the trade, Josh wins this hands down because
Do you think hands down?
Well, yeah, because he needed players to help his team because his team sucked.
Here's what I say about it.
He did well here. Josh did the right thing because to move his team into a position to possibly win games, as opposed where he wasn't winning games, even though he had Antonio Brown.
I agree. He's trying to be more competitive, but I will say this: Eddie Royal is a wide receiver 3 at best. He's going, PPR maybe going to get you 12 points a week max, unless he goes off. Latavius Murray is banged up and he's in a committee now, so he might get a touchdown and one good game here or there. Theo Riddick, they just signed somebody else in that backfield. Who was it? Somebody.
Justin Forsett.
Oh yeah, Justin Forsett.
Not really anybody.
Yeah, but that backfield's going to get a little bit more muddled whenever my boy Washington comes back. It's going to be
because he's your boy. Washington didn't prove anything.
You're right, he didn't. But when he gets healthy, he's going to get some touches. Theo Riddick is probably still going to be the quote-unquote number 1.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be like pass catching, probably.
I can tell you're doing all you can not to say theoretically.
I love that, theoretically. I hope that's his nickname somewhere.
Theoretically, he should get the ball at the end zone.
That's great. And then Jason Witten, he's like a solid tight end, but you're not crazy about starting him. He's a fill-in guy, and you're hoping to get 10 to 15 points.
True. But what about when Romo comes back, though? I mean, he might be one of the guys because Romo loves Witten.
Right. OBJ's a crybaby.
Well, yeah, we all know OBJ's a crybaby because he doesn't get his way ever. But and that offense for some reason just isn't working right now, and they got all these great people. But Odell's going to get his one of these. He's going to start hot. Yeah. So to get that with all those players, I think is a good deal.
Yeah, I think he won the trade, but not by much. Antonio Brown, he's going to be consistently awesome every week. Frank Gore might get you a touchdown, and he's consistent.
Frank Gore's an old man. He just does it all the time. He's like old, reliable.
Yeah.
Not
sexy.
I was going to say something, but it would be deemed as racist.
Oh, so boy.
I was not going to finish that sentence.
You're filtering yourself. Nola's in bed.
I am No, because this is on the internet.
Okay.
And somebody could bring this up, and I don't want it to be brought up.
You've got so much other crap they could bring up.
Well, I've realized the error of my ways, so I don't want to be like if I ever run for president, I don't want there to be some about locker room talk.
That's great. And Arian Foster, who cares about him?
Right, he might play 1 week, miss 3.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to give this to Josh, but barely. However, if I had to choose which side I wanted to be on, I'd want to be on Gag's side. I'd want to receive Antonio Brown and, have that number 1 wide receiver in the game.
Yeah, but at the same time, he gave up that number 1 receiver in the game as well, Beckham.
Yeah, number 2.
So if he did something, say number 2?
Yeah.
You mean like overall?
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's what I was doing. Probably number 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about like number 1 breakout receiver. He gave up a breakout receiver to get a breakout receiver.
Yeah.
Plus, he gave up other people as well. So
Josh did what he had to do.
Yes, he did what he had to do.
Yeah. It is what it is.
I commend you, Josh, on your trade. My trade I thought might have been better at it, but now that I'm looking at it, maybe his was better because he got more back. So
you're not going to trade Intel, are you?
No, I'm not going to trade Intel, but kudos to you, and I hope it helps your team.
Trade. Before we get into it, I have to mention that Gags texted me and said, or before the Antonio Brown trade was, I'm done trading after this next trade for the one he was talking about, Mom, I'm coming home. And I was like, okay, we'll see about that. Literally, what was the following day, or maybe the same day, he texted me and said, oops, I did it again. Which immediately made me laugh, but also made me run over to the league page and find out what he did.
So far, he's used Ozzy Osbourne and Britney Spears. What is your music taste, man?
It's everything. It is eclectic.
It's not eclectic. It's called crappy.
Ouch. Yeah. You're trying to form a rivalry with Gags?
No, I'm not forming a rivalry with Gags. So at this certain point, I can't form a rivalry with Gags because he'd probably stomp me.
Yeah, that's true. But this guy, he played on his iPod whenever he came to Wimber. He was playing Elton John, Billy Joel, some rap in there, Beatles. It was just all over the place.
Hmm.
It was a wide range.
Well, I guess I'm like strictly a bluegrass guy myself right now. So
All the time? You only listen to bluegrass?
dude, I listen to like Joe Pug like 24/7.
He's not bluegrass.
He got a twang in there though, with his guitar, you know.
He's probably more folk, right?
Also like folk, Ryan Adams and the Infinite String Dusters.
Yeah, nice.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was quite. No, I was not happy.
Also not bluegrass.
It's the String Dusters though.
Okay.
So, but there was a bluegrass festival in I think Monroe, North Carolina. I was unable to go to because we had to switch our plans around, and I was very excited to go to it. And I want to go there next year because it looks like it's like a 3-day thing. And it looks super awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Is it in what September, October?
I think it's
When you went down?
late September.
That might be good because it'll
like
be
the first couple days that we went down.
it'll be cool. You know, 'cause the summer is not as hot there because summer's ridiculous in Tennessee.
Yeah, they are. Well, this thing has like they have their festival outside with all these great bands, and then when the night comes down, they go into this auditorium and they have like a private thing for people too that you can buy into, and like almost like you'd be like a Wimber with like 2,000 people in there.
Like the Arcadia.
Yeah, I think it looked nicer than the Arcadia.
I'm sure it did. Although that is a nice little theater.
It is nice. It is. But back to the trade.
Back to the trades. All right. Second trade. What do we got here, Delling?
We have got Bigler traded away Julio Jones 1 week after using him to beat me. Convenient. A rental player to win. Just a rental. That's what Bigler had in mind. I'm just going to rent him. And so Julio Jones, Todd Gurley, and the San Francisco defense, 2 gags for Ezekiel Elliott, Denver defense, and DeAndre Hopkins. Do you see a theme here where people are trading back? Maybe Bigler should have his own song as well.
Yeah, that song could have easily gone right out to him as well.
I guarantee you, if Bigler had a song to pick and about him coming home, it would not have been "Mama Coming Home."
What do you think it would have been?
It would maybe something from Fish. I have no idea.
Okay,
Or Snoop Dogg. But yeah, he has so Ezekiel Elliott, Denver defense, and DeAndre Hopkins.
So let me go first on this one. I think it is a little comical that they basically gave each other their guys back. However, this time, Gags got Julio Jones, which is a whole lot better than what he gave him the first time. I don't know off the top of my head what he gave him. I know it was like Andrew Luck,
Yeah.
a few others, but there was no way was it Demarius? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But anyways, no, it was Des Bryant, wasn't it? No, that was Josh. There's so many trades.
I
That
can't
was
keep
Josh
track.
for the guy. Anyway, because there's no way he got a player like Julio Jones. So the fact that he's able to pull off Julio Jones in this trade is amazing. DeAndre Hopkins, I'm
I
not
would say amazing. Go
really.
on with your trade analysis.
DeAndre Hopkins is really not getting it done this year. He doesn't even have another year left, does he?
No, he does not.
I mean, if there was anybody but Brock, I know you said it doesn't matter who's throwing to him, he can light it up. Well, I don't see him doing it this year. Julio Jones, he is getting it done. But I will say this.
Didn't get done last week.
You didn't? What do you get?
I think like 2 catches or something.
That hurts. I will say this. Denver D, I'm really glad that he was able to peel them away from Gags because, and I saw Bigler mention that on the line app. If we hadn't gotten Denver D away from him, he probably would have been unstoppable if his team stays healthy. Because Denver D is one of the elite defenses, top 3, top 4 for sure. So that's probably the best thing that came out of this trade. If I have to say, I would say Bigler definitely got the best of this trade. Julio Jones is big name. We got him. Todd Gurley, don't really care too much about them. San Fran D, not really impressed with that. But Bigler got 3 quality pieces.
I actually really thought you were going to go with Gags on this one.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, look. Well, like you said, he got Julio Jones. That's what he was going for. He got Gurley. So Julio Jones, as I said before, and I ranted about, he'll have 3 or 4 good games a year, where they're not good, great games, insane games, and then there's going to be other games where he has crap, and Bigler was a beneficiary of that when he had probably his greatest game ever. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Todd Gurley, who's supposed to be like the best running back in football, supposedly. I also said that he was going to be shit this year because they just don't have anybody else on the offense.
But Gags told me, he's like, I wanted him back just so I could keep him one more time, but I don't know if I would keep him with a 3rd round pick.
That's what Bigler said too. He's like, I wasn't keeping him with a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah.
So, and I agree. I agree with him. Unless my roster sucks, basically, there's nobody else to keep.
Right.
But with San Francisco defense, that they don't really play that well.
No.
But yeah, Bigler gets his boy Eazy-E back, and I know this trade probably happened because Bigler was watching him versus Cincinnati, just burst right up the middle for like the 70-yard touchdown, and he was probably like, "Oh man, I gotta get my boy back." Which I saw it. It was sweet. It was a sweet run. And then and DeAndre Hopkins, he's got to get the ball. Like he's the guy.
Right.
Throw that man the ball, and I'm sure. So he has more upside than Gurley does, apparently. And I would say, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And like you said, the gem of the trade would be Denver defense. Elite defensive unit. Good thing you got him away. I saw Gags was running with the New England Patriots defense, I believe.
Which they'll probably get a lot of wins, but I don't know what they're going to get on top of that.
Well, I mean, I guess in my humble opinion, I would think maybe Gags is thinking that since Brady's back, they're going to run up the score, which is going to put the other offense in a position where they have to throw the ball, and maybe they're thinking like interceptions and stuff.
Yeah.
Fumbles, So
It could work.
Yeah, it could work. But yeah, I would say Bigler won a trade as well.
Yes.
Mainly because Eazy-E's his guy, and he has a lot of potential. Denver defense helps him big time, and I would imagine his DeAndre Hopkins improves his wide receiver core as well.
So for the record, both of these trades we've said Gags has lost.
Yes, I will say the trades he has lost, but the overall team that he's put together is a win.
Yeah. And he said that he had an idea for a potential nickname for himself. Well, I kind of put it in those words in his mouth, but he referred to himself as the Magician.
Oh, boy. Really? Really? You're going to call yourself the Magician? That's a terrible nickname. I hate that.
I don't know if he actually wanted it as a nickname. Maybe if he didn't want it as a nickname, we'll give it to him.
Ugh. When somebody says the Magician,
He did refer to himself as a magician.
I get that. I know it's kind of strange, but I get the picture of the cartoon character from Frosty the Snowman
Yes,
with the rabbit.
The bumbling idiot.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Ugh. Terrible.
Or Job from Arrested Development.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah.
Yes. The point is, I don't have a good magician in my head, ever, so.
David Blaine.
No, that's not
I love David Blaine.
That's not a magician. That's like stupid circus acts that he does, but like, I'm going to hang in the air for 3 days
He
straight.
does magic tricks, but he's probably better known for these incredible human feats. Like Justin Catula would probably do these kinds of things,
What? Don't even bring Jessica Toole in these conversations. He would not do it.
He would try.
No, he would not. Those things were like David Blaine was hanging up in the air over the London Bridge for 3 days. I don't like those things because, listen, he's not in front of you. He's hanging up there hundreds, maybe thousands of feet up. You can't see anything.
What about when he's frozen in a block of ice?
I don't believe that either. Frozen in a block of ice. You can't be in that block of ice with him. Maybe there's there's maybe a portable heater and there's about 5 inches between him and the ice, so he's not really even feeling the cold.
All right, I'm sorry I brought David Blaine up.
I don't like magic or that stuff.
All right, so you don't want Gags to have the title Magician?
I think if he wants it, he can have it. I think it's a stupid nickname. I'm the Magician.
Trade we have, I'll introduce this one since you usually do them.
So I'm stuck on the Magician thing.
Yeah, we've got the New Gods Mad Titans who are trading machines today. Traded with Possum Magic at 6:29 a.m. Getting up early.
I know Tree Size is up that early.
Yeah, and I bet Jimmy is too. He probably came back from his run. He was ready to get a trade done.
Does he still run?
I think so, but I don't know if he gets up that early.
Kudos to you, man. I haven't ran years.
All right, so we got Sammy Watkins was traded away with Antonio Gates. Was Sammy Watkins a keeper this year?
Oh, I don't think so.
I thought Tree kept him.
Did he? Oh, I don't know.
I think so. Traded away for Quincy Anunwa.
Good.
And thank you. You taught me. You taught me. And Torrey Smith. That's what Jimmy gave up. So we got a tight end and a wide receiver on the IR going up for Quincy Anunwa, who is now the number 2 wide receiver.
With Decker out?
Yeah, with Decker out. And Torrey Smith, who is officially the number 1, but he's acting like a number 2, right?
He's like a number 5.
That's true.
He doesn't exist in my mind.
So what do you make of this trade?
Well, with that being said about Torrey Smith, it's mostly Gates for Anunua.
Yeah.
And the potential of Sammy Watkins coming back by like week 12 or something because he's not getting surgery.
Okay.
And even then, I think, in my opinion, by the time he comes back, it's McCoy's team. So, and he's running well with it, pretty much.
Yeah.
And also McCoy, I don't know if you noticed, we were talking earlier about trends in our league and stuff. We didn't talk about draft. We always don't think anything great about McCoy. And Gags always takes him in the draft.
And he's doing really well this year.
Yeah. So we should probably rectify that next year. Not let Gags have McCoy in like the end of the second or third round or whatever he got him.
Yep.
But yeah, it's Gates and Watkins for Anunua. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go Jimmy won this one.
Okay.
Because Gates is one of the greatest tight ends, and Anunua, while being the number 2 receiver, I mean he's not Eric Decker, so. But still, I could see both their trades. I see their points, but I guess I'd go with Gates.
I think I might do the same. I know that Tree Size wasn't too upset about getting rid of him just because he has Hunter Henry.
He does have Hunter Henry.
I was surprised to see that even though Antonio Gates is back and healthy, they were going with a 2 tight end system. I didn't think that would happen.
I mean, Hunter Henry seems to be pretty good.
Yeah.
I watched him, and I'm not. I picked him up in our Dynasty League.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I didn't have anybody besides Gronk.
Nice. I think I looked to see if he was still available, and I slept on it.
Yeah.
I think it's more or less a wash because I don't think that Anunua is going to do much, and I don't think Gates is going to do a whole lot. Maybe Gates will have one of those games where he gets 3 touchdowns on Monday night, and who knows? Maybe that'll be a game that helps Jimmy win. So I'll give Jimmy a slight edge on this, but not much.
Oh. Well, I mean, I think Gates is going to get more snaps. Or outsnap Henry eventually, and that's why I think that he would win the trade.
Yeah, and that is true. And maybe Gates isn't 100%, but he's working back slowly, and then it'll be maybe like 70-30% eventually. I think Hunter Henry will play probably for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and with all the injuries they have, why not?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But Sammy Watkins, he's kind of like really just hoping for something in the playoffs, I guess. But even if he comes back, are you going to feel comfortable playing him?
It's a good question. I don't know why. I don't even know what his receivers are. I have to look.
I don't know off the top of my head.
But having Watkins on there as a guy to throw in there isn't that bad of an option.
No. But yeah, I thought it was a little funny. We could have done this for Oh No He Didn't. Whenever I forget who it was. Was it Bean? Like somebody was like talking smack on this trade just because it was a ho hum trade.
Oh really?
Somebody was
I
talking
did see
smack.
that. I thought it was maybe. Yeah, maybe I thought it was Gags for a second.
It was either Gags or Bean.
Yeah, somebody said something about what does that have to be entertained just for a trade?
Yeah, so you know what? It's kind of refreshing to see a trade that doesn't involve top tier players.
Yeah, I would say that, and it's also refreshing to have a trade where we really can't argue with. We're like, yeah, okay, it happened. That's a good one. Either way, both of you win, hopefully. All right, this last trade out of the 4 that have happened since last week, which is crazy.
One of the traded weeks in history, probably.
Yes. Happens to go be between you, Brian Volzko, and Jimmy, right? Yes. Jimmy. And you trade away Larry Fitzgerald and D'Angelo Williams for Marvin Jones Jr.
Yes.
By himself, and you almost made Craig Kubic's head explode. From when I woke up out of my migraine enough to see like 60 freaking things going off, and I didn't even know this trade happened. Yeah, I didn't know this trade happened until like 5:45 or maybe 6 o'clock. When was this? This was at 2:30. Yeah, so I was way behind everybody else on this one.
It's all right.
I hate this trade, Craig. I'm with you there, man. Brian, oh my gosh, cookie fell apart. Ignore that. Edit that out.
No, we're not going to do that.
No.
Sorry, Big
Okay.
Man, we're not going to do that.
Brian, you traded to get Marvin Jones Jr.
Yes.
You traded away Larry Fitzgerald,
Yes.
who, in my humble opinion, is probably one of the greatest receivers ever.
That's fair.
And one of the most underappreciated fantasy football receivers ever. Because everybody thinks he's never going to, he's not going to be that good anymore. He's not going to be that good anymore. And then he just, boom, he comes out and he does it every week, gets a touchdown, da-da-da-da. And you trade away D'Angelo Williams, the handcuff. Sorry, that's from a fantasy football podcast. I don't know why I threw it in. I was stealing somebody else's stuff.
I didn't know what that was.
No, it's sorry. No, sorry, Justin. Sorry.
You scared me.
It came out of nowhere. But no, D'Angelo Williams, who like once if Bell goes down, which probably will, knowing his past history, he'll be able to run that Pittsburgh offense. And he'd be just as good as he was the first 3 games.
Games.
Two out of 3 is not half bad.
That's right.
So, but yeah, I think Marvin Jones Jr. is all right. And I know you're going for the Stafford to Jones connection. Nowhere near the Matt Ryan to Julio Jones connection, by the way.
So far.
So far. Yeah, we shall see.
Oh, yeah, well, we shall see.
Yeah. I'm not done with my trade evaluation. Ryan took the phone. He took the microwave away from me. I think Jimmy wins this trade. 'Cause I think he actually improves his wide receiver, and I think that he gets his handcuff that he doesn't have to worry about.
Are you done?
I agree with Craig. I'm done.
I agree with Craig, like he's the authority on trades. Hey, I don't care what you and Craig say, and I think that you're just showing your age.
My age?
Yeah. Now, I'll be the first to admit
This ought to be good. You're 1 year younger than me.
your age, not in terms of actual like physical age, but your just age and like your wisdom about fantasy football. I will say this, that Jimmy won the trade.
I'm doing my best Donald Trump nod.
He's got the mouth going too. That's good. Jimmy won the trade, and I knew this when I traded D'Angelo Williams away, but that's why I kept D'Angelo Williams to use him as a pawn. Now, I probably could have gotten some 2-bit running back in return from Jimmy. I didn't even try for it. I probably could have got that running back from the Raiders that he played 3 times.
DeAndre Washington?
Yeah, I didn't really want any crappy running back. But here's my analysis on the 2 wide receivers. And I'm not trying to disrespect Jimmy in any way.
Disrespect Larry?
Maybe. Larry's having
Shame on you.
an amazing season. He really is. And he's definitely the number 1 target. However, he is getting up there in age. He cannot stretch the field like he used to. He's more of a slot receiver. He can get into the 20-yard tier, but he cannot break. He doesn't have the breakaway speed. Marvin Jones Jr. does. He can break away. He is the guy. This is his breakout year, evidenced by his already 1 week, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 40 points. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's going to get that every week, but I think that he gets that 2 more times this year. And I don't think Larry Fitzgerald gets that.
2 more times.
Yeah.
200-yard games, 2 more times.
I think a 30 to 40-point week 2 more times.
Okay.
But I don't know about 200 yards.
Okay.
He might have 150 with 2 touchdowns. Some way he's going to near 40 points 2 more times. Larry Fitzgerald, he might be consistently at 20 points every week with a touchdown and 60, 70 yards, which is great. But I'm going for that kill shot. I'm going for the Stafford to Jones connection. He has a much higher ceiling. This is his year to break out. Larry Fitzgerald isn't on his way down, but he's on his way of just leveling out. And I don't want a leveling out team. That doesn't represent the detonators. The detonators, we explode. And that's what Marvin Jones does.
I will say that was a very good debate argument there at the ending. That was nice. My thing to say about what you just said was I believe it was correct when Bigler said that one reason he hates this league is because the slot receivers are treated as gods.
Yeah.
And what you described as Larry Fitzgerald was a slot receiver now.
But I don't think they're gods, because look at Craig Kubisik's team. He has so many slot receivers that are PPR machines, but what's it doing him?
It's getting him over 170-point average per week. That's what it's getting him. Maybe, but doesn't give him the kill shot is what you're talking about.
Has he topped 200 points?
I don't believe so.
No, he hasn't. That was Henry on the monitor.
Okay.
Our cat.
Gotcha.
And I'm not dissing Craig's team. He's got a very consistent, solid team. But I don't think he has the players like Antonio Brown that have that potential to just like completely blow people out of the water. And that's my thoughts on that.
All right. Well, I understand where you're coming from your trade, but since I'm a Larry Fitzgerald activist, I am going to side with Jimmy on this one and say he won this one as well. Jimmy, two for two today.
Yeah, and I agree. Jimmy won the trade on paper, but I think it helps my team in the long run. But it gives him a lot more security.
Okay. Well, I will use a Jimmy Huberism and say we shall see.
Check that machine, Dowling. See if anybody called in this week.
Gentlemen of the podcast, it's time for a little Venus talking. I just don't know what to do anymore. I have a little bit of unfinished business, and it's between me and the fantasy gods. Fantasy gods, I've tried to stay humble. I don't guarantee my teams to win. I don't ever jinx myself that way. I try to talk too much smack talk on my opponents. Everybody else, yes, of course, they're fair game, but not my opponent for the week. I never say how much better my team is that week. I don't brag when I'm in different places. I haven't created trophies for myself. I haven't gotten jerseys with winning players' names. I just don't know what else to do. I made a trade to help my team, trading away Julio Jones because I knew what his schedule was going to look like. And you smacked me down that week, but then this past week he scored like 4 points, which shows that I was very thoughtful in my movements with you in mind, fantasy gods. And how have I been rewarded for my thoughtful service to your endeavors? Just I trade for 3 players, and I think somehow those 3 players went out and injured other players, and then brought them to my team just so they could be injured too. I don't know what else to do. I can't score over 140 points, except since the first week of the season. Fantasy gods, do I need to sacrifice something to you? I mean, I've got 3 kids. I could do with 2. I don't know what it is that you're asking of me at this point, but whatever it is, fantasy gods, please shine a light into my path. Bring some hope into my dark world that I might actually be able to compete this year without having my opponent have to only score 130 points. That's all I got this week, guys. I don't know what else to do. Peace, I'm out.
All right, I have to say that Bean's calls are getting better and better. I think I actually am starting to look forward to them. Not because he's like really downtrodden and hurting. They're just really well crafted phone calls. And I pictured Kevin Bean in a very dark church, kneeling on the first pew with a single light shining down on his head, and he's just praying to those gods, and he's like looking for guidance. So I don't know what to say. Yeah, clearly you're referencing me, all my transgressions against the fantasy gods, and you're showing that you didn't do those. But I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Do you have any advice?
Well, first of all, entertaining as always, Bean. Felt the despair in your voice.
Yeah.
Although I did not feel like you were in a church, as Brian does. I felt that you were having your solo on the stage, like in Rent, where the spotlight comes down and you're the guy with the scarf and holding the video camera, about right, saying, will you light my candle, or 525,600 minutes or something. But yes, your pain was very well warranted. Like you said, you are 3-2 and you're complaining.
Yeah.
That you need teams to tank against you for you to win. And the whole thing with the Julio Jones smacking SmackDown against was pretty funny and accurate as well. I feel for you, but I don't feel for you because I'm also 3-2, and I've had, I don't know if I've ever scored below 140 points this week or this year. I think it's only been 150. So,
ouch, backhanded compliment there.
Yeah, a little bit backhanded. So, but yeah, and I did like his take on you, Brian, with the trophies and the jerseys and stuff. Saying you of all people should have the fantasy gods smacking you down.
Well, they kind of are. I'm 2-3.
They are, yes, exactly. You're braggadocious.
Let's talk about Bean.
Okay, but yes, I mean that's the way life is with fantasy football, and always don't sacrifice one of your kids.
No, it's not worth it.
I mean, but if you were to sacrifice one of the kids, I would use the report cards as the deciding criteria.
Yeah, and don't tell them in advance.
No, just say you better work your butt off.
If everyone has straight A's, but there's one of your kids has 1B or a B plus, done.
Yes.
Where are we going? Going for a special ice cream trip.
But Dad, the ice cream. Why is it in the middle of the woods? Why are we in Ogletown?
Why is your friend in a clown suit?
Why is your friend in a clown? And Dad, why do you have a gun? And why does it has to be so extravagant and lovely like a Dillinger? I mean, why do you always have to have that small thing with the all the artistry? And Dad, why are you pulling that trigger? Don't do it.
I hope that it never comes to that. Hey, the good news is you've got a lot of time. You've got a lot of trades left. You got a lot of transactions left, I assume. Keep your head up. You're 3-2. You're above 500.
Just got to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
You need 4 more wins.
Conceive. Well, I think he's in 7th place right now or something.
Yeah.
And he's 3-2. So yeah.
Is he in 7th place?
I think so.
Okay.
If I knew how to get the records.
But still, the magic number is 7. So you only need 4 more wins. But that might seem like Mount Everest to you right now.
True. Well, when you're doing your rides back from Harrisburg and stuff like that, you can think about it some more. Beep.
Good evening, Thomas Demise. This is your figurehead commish, New Gods Night Titans. I have a little unfinished business. One of them is just an addendum to my interview last week. Excuse me, Det. You had asked about a figure that I had at the Penn State game. I apologize. I did not hear that question correctly. My mind automatically went to the sculpture that I had done about a month prior. Yes, the figure is a small figure of the Marvel character Blastar. And the story behind that is that my coworker had this figure, and he didn't know who it was. So, me being a comic person, he asked me, and I said he looked like a cheap version of Calabac, who is Darkseid's son. Darkseid being one half of New Gods Mad Titans. And so I typed in the Google cheap version of Calabac, and sure enough, Blastar came up. So he is a little figure that both Alex, my coworker, and myself have been taking around to different locations, states, hopefully different countries, and having little adventures and posting them on Instagram under Blastergram. So, yeah, that's the little figure. Second unfinished business is I'm switching all of my allegiances between the 2 podcasters, our normal podcasters, Nut and Det. I'm switching all of my allegiances to Det for the rest of the season. Nut has gradually become a little too big for his britches week by week, and I think he needs to be knocked down a peg or 2. So, yes, I'm rooting for Det the rest of the year. My little buddy is just, he's been a little bit, little heady. So yeah. Let's go, Det! Let's go, Det! Let's go, Det!
Jimmy, I'll have you know that
That is great.
That was great. I'll have you know that Delling is pumping his fist in silence
I was like, yes.
as you were saying you're switching your allegiance. I just have to say this is shocking news, absolutely shocking, and mainly because you started out being the nice guy of the league this year, and switching your allegiance to Delling will do nothing but bring you down.
What are you trying to say? That I'm the dark side?
Yes, he is the dark side.
And you're also calling yourself Luke Skywalker now. Well, you are getting too big for your britches.
All right, so I might like to, pump up my team. It motivates them from week to week. I don't do it to drag the other teams down, and hopefully we can bridge this divide at some point in the future, Jimmy, but if you're going to cheer for Delling, I don't know if it's ever going to be possible.
All right. Well, first of all, I'm very honored that you have come to my side, a.k.a. the dark side, in Brian's opinion.
Hashtag Team Debt.
Hashtag Team Debt. And as Brian said, he doesn't try to drag people down. But at the same time, you are the guy that showed up to a draft having Jay Huber be the MC for your entrance as you came out in your Phillip Rivers jersey.
Here's my hype man.
And, yeah, your hype man. And also a little trophy that you made for yourself. So if that isn't trying to drag down 11 people, I don't know what is.
Pumping myself up.
Pumping yourself at the expense of everybody else.
I paid for that trophy.
You did. You paid for it more ways than one. Yeah, you're definitely big for your britches there. And actually, well, Jimmy, thank you for actually seeing in that last interview. You caught that question about the figurine.
I didn't catch that either.
That's what I meant, but I didn't want to say in the middle of the thing. No. After when he went into detail about the Hulks, I didn't want to be like, but I meant this.
What a respectful host.
Well, yeah, but no, the Hulk sculpture is interesting, and Jimmy felt, or you could tell that Jimmy was very honored to be in the presence of a master,
Yes.
so to speak.
Like you every week. Just kidding.
Oh wow! See that, Jimmy? You made the right choice. But no, that's really cool. And like I also liked how you just said the one half of New Gods Mad Titans, the other half being Thanos, which will be the Avengers 3, I think, part 1 and 2, which the Avengers will all be fighting Thanos. No, Brian's just shaking his head. He has no idea. Infinity Gems, does that ring a bell to you? No? Wow. Okay. Never mind.
Are you and Jimmy going to get a necklace, like best friend necklace, like one side best, the other side friend?
Maybe it'll be a New Gods Mad Titans necklace. I'll be Thanos. I got no problem. He's awesome. He's a badass dude. But no, that's pretty cool. Yeah, hopefully I can keep you on my side the rest of the season.
I can't imagine what your matchup's going to be like.
I will wish him the best of luck.
Wow, this is going to be the weirdest week ever. Do you know when you play him?
No, I do not actually. I think it's like week 9 or something. 'Cause I faced the Huber brothers, I think, towards the end of the season.
All I have to say, Jimmy, is how can you join his side if he has the team name Huber Squasher? I mean, how can you sleep at night?
Okay.
He wants to squash you. I didn't change my team name.
The detonators you said basically want to explode all over everybody's face.
That is true. But I'm talking about your team name specifically going against two teams in our league, the Huber brothers. Mm-hmm. How can you be best friends if you've got Huber Squash as your team name?
You mean, how can we be sitting there arm in arm having a beer, cheersing? It's like, I'm going, I can't wait to squash you. Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe I'll change my name.
You've been saying that all season.
In honor of this newfound friendship or allegiance, maybe I will change the team name to ensure that we stay alleged.
Alleged, is that a word?
I don't know if it is. Well, joined, or I don't know.
Conjoined?
No, not conjoined. Don't you try to put words in my mouth there, sir. Trying to change Jimmy's mind back. You don't even know anything about the Infinity Gems. That should be enough for him not to come back to you.
I didn't know he was on my side to begin with, so...
Oh, come on. You always root for them in the playoffs. Like,
That's true.
I root for you, Jimmy, every time.
I probably still will.
Yeah?
I got nothing but love.
Well, don't you try to say that. You're such a backender.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I don't know about that. I haven't seen you. If I picture you fighting, you're like a slapper, like slap, like a patty cake.
I'm more of a kicker.
A kicker? Oh, you would go for the straight for the nards. As long as you say Wolfman's got nards when you deliver the blow, the final blow. Yeah. Monster Squad.
I know that
Squad?
one. I know
Okay,
that one.
I believe Tree Size has it on video.
I think you and Jimmy need to start your own podcast.
We don't have time.
It's true.
He's very busy.
Yeah.
I'm very busy too.
Girlfriend.
I have a lovely girlfriend.
No one's denying that.
I am truly blessed.
When are you going to lock that up?
There you go again with that. I don't know. I don't know, Brian. I mean, I don't want to move too fast.
Okay. Just wondering.
Yeah, I know. Maybe somebody needs to save up a little money for a wedding ring if he's planning on getting it. I don't know how much those things cost.
They say, what do they say, 3 months of salary?
Well, that's borderline ridiculous.
I agree.
That's America for you. That is. In other countries, you don't even get a wedding ring or an engagement ring.
Maybe you could not get her a wedding ring and say, hey, they don't do this in other countries.
Oh, that would not fly.
I know.
No way. Brogan would not have that.
All right, we'll keep saving.
I will. This week's matchups!
All right, the first matchup of the week, we've got the Kitchen of Love going head-to-head. The last two champs squaring off.
The tension in the kitchen.
Oh, my goodness. You could cut it with a knife.
Oh, I like that one. That was good.
But, we got the two former champs going head-to-head, and, man, somebody's going to be left behind. It's going to be a hole that's going to be kind of difficult to climb out of. More so for Craig than Jut, but...
Yeah.
If Jet puts him down one more peg, that's going to be really tough to climb out of. But somehow, I think Craig likes the challenge.
I'm sure. Was it silent in there, or are they both just laughing at their poor luck so far this year at the kitchen? Also, Craig, kudos to the avatar of the Golden Girls.
Yes.
Great. We all know that Justin Bajorek, well, the whole Bajorek DeGiulio family loves the Golden Girls. They were raised on it. No, you laugh, but it's true. I was there enough to become a fan of the Golden Girls myself. My favorite one is Sophia.
Yeah, or Blanche.
Blanche is my second favorite.
Okay. Dorothy.
Dorothy. B. Arthur.
All right. Let's jump into this matchup. We got
All right.
Brady versus Rivers.
That's a tough one. Bold move by Craig starting Rivers versus
Yeah.
the Denver defense. I will also say that in my other league, I had Rivers, but I benched him for Alex Smith because I was too afraid myself to start them versus Denver.
Right.
But kind of looks like it might be paying off for him right now.
far, so good.
But that's versus Brady versus Cincinnati. And honestly, I think at this point, I think it's Brady or bust because
Yeah.
I think Brady's just out to crush people.
I agree.
So I'm going to go with Brady.
Me too. I think Brady is going to score 60 to 70 points every week.
Wow.
I do.
I was thinking like 50, but 60 to 70.
I think
that's
last
insane.
week he had at least 60.
And I hope they all go to Chris Hogan.
That's very possible. or Gronk.
Or 3 touchdowns to freaking Martellus Bennett every freaking week.
And with him on the bench.
That hurts. That does hurt.
All right, we're going to the wide receivers. Tavon Austin versus Landry.
Landry,
Yeah, I'm going to go Landry as well.
possession machine versus the shitty Steelers offense, or defense, I should say.
We got Mike Wallace going up against Cobb. I'm going to go Cobb.
I'm going to go Wallace
Are you?
because Cobb took a shot last game, and I'm not even sure he's going to,
okay.
like, what's he going to be like when he plays. I mean, he took a pretty big hit.
All right. It is questionable, so I
Yeah.
don't even know if he's playing or not.
I'll go Deshaun Jackson versus
D-Jax.
Brandon Cooks.
Gotta go.
I'm going Brandon Cooks versus
Yeah,
Carolina.
me too.
That
Brandon
defense
Cooks.
is in disarray right now.
Yeah, I mean that's like an elite defense that's just falling apart.
Josh Norman,
Yeah,
left man. Did it really mean that much?
must have.
But yeah, no, that should be a shootout as well.
And D-Jack's going up against Philly. That's tough.
That is tough. Yeah.
All right, what do you got? CJ going against Blunt.
I gotta go Blunt.
Yeah,
I hate
it
saying
pains me, but Cincinnati's got a tough D. But yeah, probably gonna go Blunt. CJ Anderson had a great start to the year, but he's kind of fizzled a little bit lately.
that. Yeah, and also they've said that Devontae Booker is picking up touches on him, which that
Never
sucks.
a good thing.
I dropped Devontae Booker, I believe.
Did you?
I think I did.
Is he still out there, or does
No,
somebody pick him up?
no, are you kidding?
Nobody lasts on our waiver wire.
No way. Like you looked at our waiver?
No,
like I told
have.
you, I am waiver number 1, and everything is garbage.
It was garbage for me for 4 weeks.
I know. Yeah, well, you got
You'll
that
probably
one.
you'll probably get somebody in 3 or 4 weeks.
Every 3 or 4 weeks, you're good to lob a hook out into the water and pray to God that you get something halfway decent.
Anytime I look at like articles about waiver wire pickups, you scroll right to the bottom and you look for deep sleepers. That's the only thing worth reading.
That's you or one. We can definitely agree on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Next running back. Sorry, I thought we were still in CJ. Rashard Jennings versus Terrence West.
Terrence
I
West.
mean, is Jennings even playing?
I don't know.
I gotta go Terrence West right now. He's playing for his job basically because he knows Kenneth Dixon is waiting in the wings as soon as he messes up.
Right.
And let's be honest, when was it the last time like Terrence West? I don't know. Started more than 4 games in the whole season. I'm just telling the truth.
I know.
So
It's just a matter of time.
yeah, I'm hoping it's just a matter of time. I'm sure Craig is not hoping it's a matter of time.
He's probably hoping to ride
So
that.
yeah, but I'm going with Terrence West. Okay, we got Dwayne Allen versus Jordan Reed. Quite simply, go Jordan Reed for me, but he's in the concussion protocol as well.
Is he? And they're going
Yeah.
against Philly. I'm going to give this to Dwayne Allen.
Yeah, it's kind of quite. Reed started feeling symptoms, I believe, on Tuesday, which isn't good.
That's not a good sign.
So if Reed plays, I go with Reed. And you're going with
I'm
Allen?
going to go Allen either way.
Hey, either way. Oh, wow,
yeah,
okay.
they're going against Philly D, and they're pretty tough. Dwayne Allen, I think I could. Houston defense, they're not as scary as they used to be.
Philly D doesn't. They give up a majority of their points to tight ends.
Oh, do
Brian.
they?
Yes.
Okay. I did not know that.
Okay. Okay, you go, Brian.
James White versus DeMarco Murray.
Man, hey,
I got to go Murray
yeah,
against Cleveland.
that's true. I go to DeMarco Murray too, and just to let you know, I do believe that DeMarco Murray was the steal of the draft.
Officially,
Officially, in my opinion, at this moment, yes.
at this moment.
It was not Murray. It was Chip Kelly that brought him down.
Okay.
Murray's, for Tennessee, he's a beast.
Yeah, they did not know what they were doing whenever he went to Philly. They had no idea what they're doing with him.
Nope, not at all.
They tried like a 3 running back committee. It was garbage.
Yeah, when you have a bell cow, came from Dallas, and that guy
Yeah.
was really like 1,400, 1,500 yards or something
More
like
than
that.
that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But Murray, we're going with Murray.
Crosby, fresh off the waiver wire, going up against McManus. I got McManus. I don't
You gotta go Crosby.
I don't care.
Okay. Baltimore D versus the Giants, and Buffalo D versus San Francisco. Home game for Buffalo. Going Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Buffalo as well.
And fresh off the dock, Colin Kaepernick getting off his knee to start a game for the first
Yeah.
time in a long time.
That's true. And Buffalo D has been looking good.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing like two interceptions, like a handful of sacks, maybe a fumble.
Possibly a touchdown.
Very low score.
Yeah, but Craig, I predict will get about 173 points. Mm-hmm. And I think Tom Brady wins this.
Really? You're going Justin
Yeah.
wins the game.
I am.
I'm gonna go Craig. I'm gonna go Craig wins. He's gonna win the Kitchen of Love match.
He needs to.
You think it's like in college when they have like a certain rivalry game, they get like a trophy or something, like maybe like
That we don't know about.
like maybe Craig gets the golden colander or something.
Right. The golden spatula.
Spatula.
Yeah.
They hang it up on
It's
one side of the
possible.
kitchen every year.
Yeah, they sign it.
Yeah. The score of the
Yeah.
game every year.
That would be cool if they did.
All right, next matchup. And for this next matchup, we have none other than the Possum Magic, 4-1 in first place, versus Disco, 2-3 in ninth place. And let's see, we got to start off for quarterbacks. We got as Gag says, the burger,
The burger.
Ben Roethlisberger versus Andrew Luck. Quite the stellar quarterback matchup
I'm going Big Ben.
at Miami.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Andrew Luck at Houston.
Okay. Big Ben, he is on a tear. I mean, and I'm not just saying that because you didn't keep him. Like, what did he have? He had like 9 touchdowns in 2 games.
He did, but
Okay.
I'd like to say that as their home games.
Okay.
Ben plays great at home, not so great away. And Luck is just throwing the ball up no matter what because he's going to get hit in 3 seconds or less.
Oh my goodness! Did you see he's on pace for like a record number of sacks? Taking a record number of sacks. It's like
No.
70 some sacks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
brutal.
disgusting.
Did you see also that the GM is blaming their troubles on his contract? Oh, we
Really?
can't win games because he has such a big contract. Shut up.
You're the one that gave it to him.
You're the GM.
Yeah.
Make it work.
Yeah.
If you didn't like it, you should have traded him.
All right. AJ Green versus Hopkins. I'm going AJ Green.
Really? Versus New England?
Yeah, because they're-
Hopkins versus Indianapolis?
They only throw to AJ Green.
I mean, what does Belichick do? He takes away the main guy.
That's true, but AJ Green's an elite player.
All right. Yeah. Well, I think they're both elite. I'm going Hopkins.
They are. They're both
Going
elite,
Hopkins
but I'm
versus
going AJ.
Indianapolis, and it's in a dome game.
All right. Beasley versus Michael Thomas.
I like these matchups. I know you have Michael Thomas out there for a reason, Bigler. I know it's the same reason I got Willie Snead, and I'm hoping Michael Thomas doesn't get as many targets as Snead does. With that being said, I'm going to go Michael Thomas.
I'm going Michael Thomas as well. Green Bay's a really tough D to throw on.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Kenny Britt versus Benjamin.
Oh, man, the fact that you start Kenny Britt is fantastic.
It's great.
Uh,
I got to go Benjamin, even though he already has a fumble lost.
Yeah, I still got to go to Benjamin, too, even though he's playing Denver, just because it's Kenny Britt. That's the only
Our
reason I'm picking against him.
first place team is starting Kenny Britt.
Yes, that's where Gags comes in. Okay, running Isaiah Crowell, the Crow,
The Crow.
versus Eazy-E, Ezekiel Elliott. I go Easy all
Yeah,
day.
me too. Me too.
Get himself that nut.
All right, Christine Michael going up against TJ Yeldon. I'm
Oh.
going Christine Michael.
Me too. I find it funny that Yeldon is projected for more points.
I know, that's crazy.
Yeah, but you got to go Christine Michael.
Although Chicago, are they easy to run on? I don't know.
I think they're easy to do everything on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I don't know. Can we go back to how happy Bigler is to have
Sure.
Eazy-E on
Yeah.
it? I mean, I bet you he is just tickled pink.
He probably is.
He's happier than a pig in shit. Okay, so we're both going Christine Michael. Tight ends, Richard Rodgers versus Dallas and Hunter Henry versus Denver. And to be honest, even before this game started, now that we see the numbers, I still would have picked Hunter Henry.
I would have too, even
And-
though now he's probably going to win it hands down.
Probably, yes, after the points. But you guys probably know what's going on. All right, flex. Darren Sproles versus Alan Hearns. I'm
Both
going.
underwhelming?
Yes, I'm going with Alan Hearns.
I'm gonna go Sproles, but it could go either way.
Okay, and kickers doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I'll go with Catanzaro.
All right, I'll go Lambo because he played for the MLS. Defenses: Denver D versus San Diego.
Still gonna give it to Denver.
Washington versus. I'm going to give it to Denver too.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Philadelphia, it's a home. No, they're away at Washington, but still, I think Philadelphia is going to do a little bit better offensively. I think they're going to run that score up.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And overall, what are you thinking, Brian?
I really don't know. I'm going to say that Disco with that trade gets back on track and he gets a win.
Ooh, I like it. Gosh. I
mean, Tresize, his team. This is the week. I don't know. He's got to be
Minnesota's on bye.
Really a lot of bye week blues. I mean, when
Yeah.
you're starting
Kenny Britt?
Kenny Britt, Sproles, I'm not really crazy about that. And you can't even start your Minnesota D. If he gets through this week, it will be magic. It will be possum magic. So I'm going to give this to Disco.
I'm going to agree with you, Brian. I'm going with Disco as well. I love that he has EZ. I just felt like it just wasn't right when he wasn't on his team. I didn't feel right myself. And if I don't feel right, Bigler doesn't feel right. He's probably serving a guy a Coors Light when he's asking for a Long Island tea, and he can't do his Diggler moves, and he's just like, "What is wrong with me? What's going on?" He's like, and he figured it out. He's like, "I need Easy back in my life."
That's right.
And who doesn't need a little Easy E?
No.
I mean, everybody go out, get his greatest hits, please.
Matchup, we have the Detonators going up against Torque Kabisic. And Torque Kabisic is in the basement. He made a big trade this week trying to...
Are you going to say your line?
I don't know. What was my line?
In the
Oh, thank you.
basement.
In the basement. Wow. Sorry, I can't believe I...
We
I
were distracted this episode.
Really distracted. But yeah, he made the big trade this week to get OBJ. I can't tell you how happy I am to not be playing AB. But we'll see if that was enough to get it done this week. So let's get started. We got Stafford going up against Bortles. I think it's going to be pretty close, but I'm going to give the edge to Stafford because LA hasn't been doing that great against the pass.
Oh, really?
Not really.
I'm going to give the edge to Bortles because he's going against Chicago.
Chicago surprisingly shut down Stafford a few weeks ago.
Why wouldn't LA shut down Stafford?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But he did have 3 touchdowns against Philly last week, so I think Stafford beats himself.
Oh,
I do.
Okay.
All right. Hilton going up against Edelman. That's going to be a tricky one since Edelman's got Brady back, but I think that Hogan's going to get a lot more work. And
I pray.
And Hilton has just been a beast lately, so I think he's going to keep that rolling in the Dome on Sunday night.
It's a very tricky one, but I actually agree with you, Brian. Hilton has a chance to be awesome this year.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Hilton.
the fact that Moncrief has been hurt,
Right.
and he's like the go-to guy. We got Benjamin going up against Macklin. I'm going to give this to Benjamin, believe it or not.
I mean, I can see it versus New Orleans.
Yeah, and they said that New Orleans they've given up over 300 yards receiving every game this year.
Well,
And over 100 yards to the top receiver.
I hope Derek Anderson's playing, not Cam.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we'll both get fed.
I hope so. I want to get fed.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Macklin versus Oakland. Oakland has an atrocious defensive backfield.
Okay. To each their own. And then we got the Stafford to Jones connection.
Do you have a tickle in your throat there? A crack in your throat there, Brian?
Going Stafford to Jones connection. Is there an echo in here? Going
You've been waiting to say this all day.
all day. Going up against OBJ. I don't know. It's a pretty even matchup because OBJ has been underwhelming this year.
So just pick Jones.
Yeah, Jones.
You know you want
Yeah,
to.
Jones.
What is this, a 1 o'clock game? Is there any way you're possibly going to be able to watch this?
I think so actually this week.
You're
But realistically, no. I mean, unless it happens to be, I don't have the NFL Pass. I don't have a Fire Stick.
Yeah.
I'll be watching it on my phone, painfully.
holding the baby one arm, watching the phone the other.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, nice. So I'm going to go with OBJ
Are you?
because he's OBJ and he's got a snap. He got his first touchdown last week.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll jumpstart him.
Yeah, he has such great potential. He does. So any week.
It's a giant stadium when you saw how bad the Raiders threw on Baltimore. So something's going to happen. I don't know. We'll see.
And they need to break out of it, that's for sure.
Yeah, they do. Get
All
out the
right.
funk.
We got Jordan Howard going up against Ware. I'm going Howard.
Ah, you got to go with Howard. What a bench stash that was for you, Brian.
Yeah, that worked out nicely.
I'm jealous of that.
It's definitely my best pick of the week, or best pick of the year.
I would probably agree with you on that, actually.
All right, Ryan Matthews, who I'm not really crazy about starting, but I kind of have to, going up against Latavius Murray. I don't know. If Latavius Murray is, whether he's healthy or not, I'm still going to give it to Ryan Matthews. I think he vultures a touchdown.
I'm going Ryan Matthews as well, simply because they say against Washington they make the running books look better and the wide receivers look better as well. Wow. They do not have a good defense.
And then they force Kirk Cousins to throw.
That's what I like.
Yeah. All right, we got Gronk going up against Miller. I don't believe that Miller time is going to be enough. Gronk is happy that Brady's back, going Gronk.
I'm going to go Miller. I'm just joking. I'm going Gronk.
All right, Cameron Meredith, fresh off of the waiver wire, going up against Theo Riddick. Theoretically, he could win this.
That's my line.
I stole it.
Stole my line.
I'm actually going to give this to Theo Riddick because he's a good flex option. I think Meredith is going to get me those 12 points, but I think Riddick's going to get closer to 15 or 20.
That's tough. It's very tough. I'm going to go with Meredith.
Wow.
I mean, he's in that number 2 role, and apparently Brian Hoyer is just feeding that role.
Yeah.
And if he can have a game like he did last, it's against Jacksonville too. I feel better with Meredith than I do with Riddick versus LA.
Okay, fair enough. Janikowski or Vinatieri. I always go Janikowski.
Oh man, I always go Janikowski too, but I'm going Vinatieri. Did you by chance see like Lambeau was walking out the field and he like patted he had to like run Janikowski down, and Janikowski kind of looked at him like, "Who the hell are you?" And then he said something and he laughed. Lambeau laughed, and then they were like, "There's this whole stink about it." But you just lost the game. What are you doing laughing? And to Lambeau, like, this is a kicker. And Lambeau goes, Janikowski is like a kicker god. Yeah. And he's like, and when he says something funny, you laugh.
No matter what. He is a kicker god.
Yeah, it's like Lambeau's like, I didn't lose the game.
That's so funny.
You guys, there's the rest of the team. It's not just a kicker.
All right.
All right. Pittsburgh defense versus Jacksonville defense.
I have to take Pittsburgh because Miami's been awful. Tannehill has been a horrible season. That's why I dropped him. And I really need Jacksonville to like stink up the joint because I got Meredith and Howard going against them.
I'm going with Pittsburgh defense as well, mainly because of Tannehill, and Chicago's doing pretty well so far with Hoyer as the quarterback.
That's true. Yeah, if it was Jay Cutler,
yeah,
it'd be a lot closer. All right, overall, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with you, Brian.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on a second. No, I'm still going with you. No, I looked at it.
You're looking for a way to not go with me?
I was. Trying to play devil's advocate here.
I mean, I think he put together a better, respectable team, that's for sure. The only weak spot right now, I would say, is Ware and Murray, but everything else is respectable. So
Respectable.
I think there's a 20-point margin between us, and I think it'll probably be about 20 points. But I'm hoping that I don't give Josh any breathing room out of that basement.
I hope so too. All right, this next matchup is a doozy. The Huber Squasher versus the Mighty Midgets, or the man that got Sally's heart versus the man that had Sally as a backup.
Wow.
Let's start out with.
They're both 3-2.
They are both 3-2, and we're pretty close to projections. Yeah. It's like flipping a coin, isn't that right, Sally?
Wow. You're like, I'll wait for your response.
No. Jimmy was a good man. She made a great decision. We have 2 happy, beautiful children, a great house, and live out there in Reading, PA, and I'm not trying to damage it at all. And good job, Jimmy. Back to our matchup. Okay. Quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins versus Philadelphia versus Aaron Rodgers versus Dallas. I'm going Aaron Rodgers.
Wow, that's rare. That's a rare occasion when Dylan goes against himself, and I agree.
It's hard to bet against Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. And it's hard to go against Philadelphia this year.
True.
All right, Amari Cooper versus Butler.
I'm going Amari Cooper.
Yeah, all day. Although, he's projected at 12.14. So, was he like the number 2 in Dallas right now?
I believe he is the number 1.
Okay, wow.
I think he's playing Des Bryant's role.
Okay, gotcha.
Still going to Amari Cooper, though.
Yeah, me too. And he finally paid off for you last week.
Yes, finally.
Almost-
I was
almost
ready
like
to
30
throw him out of the
points, yeah.
freaking team. So, all right, next, Jordy Nelson versus Allen Robinson.
I am gonna go Jordy Nelson
And what do I like to say, Brian? How do you beat the quarterback?
with the other guy's receiver.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Craig tried to do it last week unsuccessfully by having Jordan Reed, and he still lost.
You just thought you'd bring that up.
Just thought I'd bring that up.
A little salt.
A little salt in the wound. Yeah, I'm going Jordy Nelson over Allen
All
Robinson
right, fast Willie Sneed.
versus
Going up
Jamison Crowder. Look, he's trying to do my thing. Now he's trying to use my receiver against me.
But is that your number 1 receiver? Is he
No, Jordan Reed's the number 1
Yeah, that's
receiver.
true.
Then they kind of spread around, but Jamison Crowder is a possession guy. He gets probably like 6 balls a game.
with big playability?
Yeah, with big playability.
Is Willie Sneed healthy?
I believe so, since they were on the bye week.
Okay, if he's healthy, I'm going Willie Sneed.
So am I. I need him to get back in there, man. I need him to be fast and catch the ball and be Bree's guy, not Michael Thomas. Next is Jonathan Stewart, finally, versus Matt Forte.
Forte.
Ooh,
Oh,
wow.
against Arizona, though.
Yeah, I'm going Jonathan Stewart versus New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go Forte.
Wow, you're crazy.
We'll see.
And also, finally,
Yeah.
Jamal Charles is back versus Carlos Hyde.
And was Jamal Charles expected to start and get quality touches?
He's starting.
All right, then I'm gonna give it to Jamal Charles. It's his matchup to lose.
That's right, versus Oakland. They're giving up some pretty heavy numbers in the running game. So I'm going Jamal Charles as well.
And Crick is shaking his head. He's like, Carlos Hyde is a touchdown machine. But they're also going up against Buffalo.
Yeah, don't we hate Carlos Hyde?
We do.
I think as a collective
We
group.
do. We actually.
Yeah.
I think the whole league does, except for Crick.
And maybe Baby Nola.
Maybe Baby Nola. Yeah, she finally is waking up a little bit.
Oh, okay. And tight end, Greg Olson versus Delaney Walker, going both against pretty crappy teams.
And
Go.
Delaney Walker is solid, but if Greg Olson has Derek Anderson, yeah, I'm going to go Greg Olson.
By the power of Grayskull, that's what I asked for, and it came last week. It was
Did
a
you see the
beautiful
picture
thing.
that Craig used for his...
The Skeletor thing? Yeah, I thought that was perfect.
That was nice.
He said, since everybody thinks of me like this anyway. Not true, Craig. We love you. Flex position, Chris Hogan versus Duke Johnson. David Johnson. I wish it was Duke Johnson.
Me too, for your sake.
Yes.
I'm going to David Johnson.
I'm going to go David Johnson, too. I'm going to be realistic here.
Yeah.
So, and kickers, Tucker versus Sturgis.
I'll go Tucker. How is Tucker projected at 12 points?
Dude, Tucker's the best football kicker in the game.
Football kicker. That's still a crazy projection.
I know. He's twice as much as Sturgis. How crazy is that? But anyway, moving on.
If he didn't have twice as much, it would pretty much be an even matchup.
I know. Well, yeah. Close. But the defense is Tennessee versus Cleveland and Carolina versus New Orleans.
Yeah, you got to get Tennessee there.
Yeah, I'm going Tennessee.
They had a nice week last week and going against Cleveland.
Yeah, and it was either that or Seattle versus Atlanta. Yeah. And right now, I feel like the Cleveland doesn't even have a quarterback. So, gosh, I wish they were really playing Charlie Whitehurst. That would be amazing. But he's cut. So, but all right, who you going overall, Brian?
Overall, let's see here. I like his running backs a lot better than yours, except for Charles. And I like Rodgers better, but I think I found myself saying your team more often. Kirk Cousins could hurt you, though. That's tough. I'm going to give it to you just by a hair because his receivers are really lacking. Crowder and Butler, he must have bye week blues. And for that reason, I think your wide receivers are going to be the tipping point.
Ooh, the tipping point. I like that. That's good. Little Malcolm Gladwell there. I'm going to go with you, Brian, on that one. I hope you're right. And by a hair, but probably the last hair on my head. So go Huber Squasher and go Kirk Cousins.
And the next matchup, we have the Dub C Hooligans hosting the New Gods Mad Titans. Jimmy has a really nice projection, and Dub C is just clinging to everything that he can hold on to. He's a man. Every week, the week before, he was crying out loud, screaming. This week, he was praying for anything. So we'll see if his prayers are answered by the fantasy gods. We got Derek Carr going up against Drew Brees.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good matchup, actually.
That is actually good.
I'm going Drew Brees versus Carolina.
Me too.
Shootout.
Although, I mean, we saw Big Ben carve up the KCD. You saw it firsthand.
I did. It was awesome.
But I think that Drew Brees will still outscore Carr.
True. But Carr's having a monster season.
He is. He's having a great season.
Yeah, it is. He's definitely coming into his own.
Nice keeper, Jimmy.
Thank God you're actually starting him.
Yeah.
All right. So Alshon Jeffrey versus Emmanuel Sanders. And even though we know the points that are going on right now, I would still go Alshon Jeffrey.
Even though we know the points right now, I'm still going to go Emmanuel Sanders.
Really?
Alshon Jeffrey, he's a sinking ship.
Wow. Sinking ship.
He is. He's getting like 5 targets a game. He's not really getting a lot of yardage. And
Doing this just because Jimmy doesn't like you anymore? Okay.
I'm really not. Brian Hoyer is targeting Cameron Meredith, at least the last couple of weeks. And Alshon Jeffrey, he's not the man he used to be. So, for that reason, I'm going to go for Emmanuel Sanders.
Okay, fair enough.
Nothing personal, Jimmy.
Sure. All right, next is Doug Baldwin versus Jordan Matthews.
That's a quality matchup, actually. Pretty even. Just because it is even, to show that I'm not completely biased, I'll give it to Baldwin.
All right, well, I will give it to Jordan Matthews, actually, because they're going against Washington.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I think Atlanta, they're going to throw a lot probably, so I'm going to give it to Baldwin. All right, my former detonator, Fitzgerald, going up against Tyrell Williams. There it is, Terrence Williams. Got to go with Larry Fitzgerald. Tried and true.
I love the description you used. Tried and true. He's a classic guy. But I didn't want him on my team. He wasn't good enough anymore.
He's great. I mean, I really wish him nothing but the best. I will send him a bouquet.
Nothing but the best as you send him out the door.
Yeah. There's just a younger stud coming through the door.
You're out of your mind. I'm going Larry Fitzgerald as well because he's a great receiver. I would have welcomed him into my house just like Jimmy did.
You act like he's sitting at the table with us.
I wish he was. It'd be amazing.
Me too. He seems like a really nice guy.
Does seem like a good guy. So
all right.
we both agree on Larry Fitzgerald.
Melvin Gordon going up against Lamar Miller.
Yeah, I'm going Lamar Miller.
Not in the flex?
Yeah, where he is now because he's going against Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's a good point. They don't have much of a defense. Right. Yeah, I'm going to go Lamar Miller as well. DeAndre Washington going up against Eddie Lacy. Got to go Eddie Lacy. Let's check the matchups first. Yeah, got to go Eddie Lacy.
Martellus Bennett is making an appearance.
Wow,
versus
the Black Unicorn.
The Black Unicorn comes out of nowhere.
Knowing that he'll do the opposite of what Bean wants, I'm going to go Fleener.
I'm going Fleener as well.
And Bean already knows this before the game starts.
That's very true. He's like, why? I'm starting even though I know it's not going to work.
Look at the projection for this man that Jimmy has in the flex.
I mean, the projection is a beautiful thing.
It is.
29 points.
And he might actually get him this week.
I think he will.
Yeah.
I think there's no question about it. I'm
just saying because he's in the flex.
Yeah, I know. This is the Bell Show, man.
Yeah.
The bell is going to ring.
Yeah, I agree. But it's just, you don't see projections that high very often.
No.
But I think this one's deserved.
Did you say deserved?
It's Jesus. Late. Okay. Deserved. Yes, I mean, I was hoping you wouldn't say anything.
Yes, no, Bell is, over against Sammy Coates. We didn't even say the other guy.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? So, but yeah, I think this cannon's going to fire, it's going to be, for those about to rock, we salute you. And Bell's just going to come out with fire blazing.
Yep. He looked great last week. I think he had about 18 or 19 receiving points on the bench that he left,
right
out there. So he didn't have a touchdown, and I think he had 24 points.
That's nice. Yeah. It's very nice. So.
All right. Gano versus Bryant.
Gano.
Yeah, I'll give it Gano. And Philadelphia D versus Arizona D. Got to go Arizona on this one. The Jets don't have a lot going on.
I feel like they're better than the Redskins. I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, wow.
Matt Jones can't run. I should know.
Yeah, well, you're going against your quarterback there, huh?
I know, it sucks.
All right.
But I'm going to go. I'm not going to pick against him just for my opinion.
All right, so what are you thinking overall?
Overall, I'm going with Jimmy. Just because of Le'Veon Bell?
Because you're best friends.
We're best friends now. He's my buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy and me.
Wherever Jimmy goes, I'm gonna go.
But no, he's got Le'Veon Bell,
Yeah.
Fitzgerald, and he's got a decent wide receiver core. Carr, it's not like Carr is that bad, worse than Drew Brees.
No.
And I'm just looking at the overall roster. I'm sure it'll be a tight game, but I feel that Jimmy's going to win it.
I agree. I am giving this to Jimmy, not just because I'm trying to win him back, but because you have him in the flex, Bell in the flex, and because the Black Unicorn will probably get shut out for Bean, because that's his luck. And Bean will call in and tell us that he knew that was going to happen.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's going to be close. I think that Bell gets the edge.
Oh, the edge. He always gets the edge. The matchup of the week.
Very nice intro. All right, we got Gags to Riches going up against everybody. Ertz, second place. Sorry, Gags, I almost gave you first place.
Wow.
In,
A little too soon.
in Gags' head, he's in first place. If there's a place above first place, he'd be there as well. Going up against everybody, Ertz at a solid 6th place, 3-2. Quarterbacks. We got Cam Newton, which I don't know if he's officially playing or not, going up against Wentz. I'm going to give this to Wentz.
Oh, sorry. I was distracted by Gags to Richard's avatar. Like,
What is? I can't tell. It's dark.
Is that like one of those things where like you ever see like those Japanese porno things with like aliens?
I haven't
girls?
seen that. I swear.
I think like that's some Japanese porn shit there.
It
I
could
don't
be.
like it, Gags.
And I don't think Jay would like it either.
I don't think, Jay does not approve.
No. Do you know anything about Cam, whether or not he's
Oh,
playing?
sorry, we're talking. Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
I do not know anything about him, but I'm pretty sure he probably will pass the concussion protocol. I'm going to go with Cam Newton.
Okay.
Supposed New Orleans man.
I'm going to go Wentz. He's going to be firing on all cylinders.
He looked a little pedestrian against Detroit.
That is true.
But to be fair, he threw that interception when he's trying to come from
And that was
behind.
his only interception.
Right.
Yeah. And it wasn't a bad throw. It was a nice interception.
Yeah.
All right, we got Crabtree going up against Demaryius Thomas. Somehow Crabtree, even though we do know the points right now, I'm going to give this to Crabtree.
I'm going to give it to Crabtree, too.
Would you have done that before the game? I probably wouldn't have.
I think I would have, actually. Just because I know like Amari Cooper probably goes against the best cornerback, and they kind of say that Crabtree is the alpha there right now.
Oh, wow.
Because Amari Cooper isn't like, speaking up that much. So
Wow.
I think they're calling him the alpha.
I'm shocked that San Diego is holding Denver to 3 points.
I'm shocked too myself.
Yeah. All right, we got Antonio Brown going up against Brandon Marshall.
Imagine that. I got to go Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
Only because Marshall's playing against Arizona.
that's the only reason.
Yeah, actually it is.
Not because it's Antonio Brown.
No, dude, Brandon Marshall is a monster, man. He's a
He
beast.
is. He is.
If he had, he could have so many more points last week if he had I think he dropped 3 balls against the Steelers.
You know who wouldn't have? AB.
AB, no way. AB dropped when he was playing against Cincinnati. He dropped one, hit him right in the chest.
All right.
He dropped that sucker. But no, we're both going AB.
AB. Mama, he's coming home.
Oh boy.
All right, and then the fresh to his team, Julio. How is it that in 1 week he got the number 1 and 2 receiver in the game back to his team? It's insane.
Just hang my head in shame.
The magician.
Terrible names.
All
God.
right. We got Julio going up against Will Fuller.
I'm going Will Fuller
Just because? Or because it's going against Seattle?
because he's going against Richard Sherman.
Okay. You know what? I'm actually going to join you on that because they're going against Indianapolis. They don't have a defense, so Will Fuller, and he's having a great year.
He is. I mean, I think he had like 1 catch last week, but he's bound to rebound. He's a burner, and against Indianapolis, I mean, their defense is pretty weak.
That's true.
So I do think he's going to get a long bomb.
All right, Tevin Coleman going up against Frank Gore, another recent addition to his team. Half his team's new. I'm going to go Frank Gore.
Man, that's tough. I guess. Yeah, I'm going to go Frank Gore because J.J. Watt's not there. But what a performance by Tevin Coleman last week, actually.
I didn't even
that was
see
that
what
was a
happened.
monster.
What did he
He,
do?
I don't know. He did a lot. I just know I saw him flying through the end zone, and I don't know if he caught a lot of receiving yards or running yards, but he was the man last week.
Wow.
But Devontae Freeman is no slouch himself.
Well, it's crazy that both of those running backs, you can start them and know that you're going to get something decent out of them.
That is true, actually. And he's not playing Devontae Freeman in the flex, but when you got Mark Ingram in the flex versus Carolina, I can't blame him for that either.
Me neither.
Especially since they're going against Seattle.
All right, Freeman versus Gurley.
I have Gurley. Gotta go Gurley.
Yeah, even though we trash him a lot, yeah, I'm going to go Gurley because...
Detroit's a juicy matchup.
Yep. All right, Jimmy Graham, back to, Mr. Relevancy, going up against Kelsey.
That's a Kelsey.
Yeah, but Jimmy Graham is... Yeah.
Oh, you're going Kelsey?
I'm going Kelsey.
Okay. I think it's a tough matchup. I actually think
is a
it
tough
might be
matchup.
Jimmy Graham.
It very well could be. He hasn't proven it to me yet, but he might be back.
Well, he was always there. They just weren't throwing it to.
All right, so you're going Graham?
I'm going to go Graham.
All right. Ingram versus McCoy.
For San Francisco. Oh, man.
That's tough. That's really... I think it's going to be close. And McCoy.
Oh, McCoy. Yeah, I
We
want to
both-
say Ingram.
We both
but-
hate to say it.
Yeah.
Kickers, I don't really care.
Even kickers, he has a guy's getting 10 points
That's
rejections.
insane.
Go Novak
With authority.
with authority.
All right,
All right.
Houston or New England. It pains me to say New England. Houston against Indy.
They're both. Yeah, gotta go New England versus Cincy too.
Yeah.
Over Houston versus Indy. Man.
All right.
tough.
Even though I don't want to do this, I have to go Gags. It is a juggernaut of a team. Until somebody gets injured, it's going to be nearly impossible to pick against this team.
Yeah.
Delling.
It's pretty tough right now.
I don't know how the bye weeks are going to affect him, but I'm sure he's going to have some bye week blues in there.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, but still, I don't want to say it, but I feel like Bean now on Bean is talking.
I know.
I'm going to go with Jay Huber for the upset win. There's no rhyme or reason.
The
I'm
Huber
just-
Squasher.
Just praying that it happens. I don't want Gags to be the first place to start talking all
I know.
high and mighty.
I know. That's
Bye.
my job.
Yeah, exactly. That's how he's so great and he's the magician.
I love that. He only mentioned that to me in a text, but now we're making it his persona. All right, so what are your final thoughts on this week? Because we had a flurry of activity. No pun intended, since the Penguins are starting tonight.
Very nice.
Yeah,
I like
not
that.
completely unintentional.
You know that all between all this fantasy football madness and stuff that's going on, there's a lot going on today. There's a Penguins home opener.
Yeah.
Where they're going to drop
Against the Capitals.
Yeah, they're raising the banner.
Yeah.
Great day. Ever see
Game's probably over, which we haven't even checked.
Yeah.
I'll watch the highlights tomorrow.
Did you see the championship rings that they're going to get?
No.
Oh, they're beautiful. They're
Really?
so beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, and Game 5, the Dodgers versus the Nationals to get the rights to play the Cubs.
Wow. Who you going there?
I want the Dodgers to win.
Me too. I'm going to go Dodgers on that.
I like Kershaw, but he's not pitching. He pitched Game 4.
Okay.
But Max Scherzer is pitching versus Rich Hill. So
Yeah, they've got the advantage there. The cat or there.
yeah, they got the advantage. And there's didn't Bob Dylan win the Nobel Prize in literature?
Did he really? I didn't hear
He
that.
won a Nobel
I
Prize.
didn't hear that. That's great.
Yeah, which is I don't understand how can he win the Nobel Literature, the Nobel Prize in literature when you can barely even understand the guy.
You can still read his lyrics.
I think that's the only way you can do it because other than that, it sounds like he's got a bag of rocks in his mouth and he's trying to talk with them.
That's a beautiful bag of rocks.
Beautiful, yes. But like I said, this is hockey's back.
Yeah.
The Penguins are still Stanley Cup champions.
True.
I don't know. Crosby, of course, he's got a concussion. That kind of sucks.
Steelers are 4-1.
Steelers are 4-1. But Crosby won the World Cup of Hockey, MVP of that. And Canada was so good that they could even afford to have a little baby in a full hockey gear that goes by the name of Giroux. But like I was saying, that
A little baby.
oh yeah, Crosby won the World Cup of Hockey, became MVP.
I'm not talking about that little baby.
Oh okay, no. Nice.
Crick like that, I'm sure.
He did. But no, Canada was so good they could actually have a baby on the roster sitting there on the bench in full hockey gear.
Wait, they actually put the baby on the roster?
They did. He was on the roster. He was ready to go. And this little baby goes by
How old?
Like 5.
Wow.
Something like that. Goes by the name of Claude Giroux. I mean, he does play for the Philadelphia Flyers.
That's funny.
I don't know, Jimmy Crick. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
So funny.
Biggest baby in the NHL, Claude Giroux. Can't win you anything. You guys think he's the greatest player, but guess what? You don't win squat with him because we got the best player, Sidney Crosby, Pittsburgh Penguins, Stanley Cup champions.
That's right. We got 2 cups in the last 6-7 years.
That's
Something
right.
like that.
Something like that. And we're favored to win it again this year.
Are we? Mm-hmm. Okay. It's probably us or the Blackhawks.
Probably. But we have such deep depth on the lines.
We got deep depth.
That's right. Deep depth. we are deserved of the cup.
Nice, touche. I think we only lost 1 player.
Lovejoy.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like a
He's a
key
good
piece.
defender, though.
He's
He's
a
a
good,
good
defender, but
He stands the guys up right as they come. Just-
you could still find a replacement for that.
Yes, you can.
You can still win a cup without him.
True. Very true. So-
Highlight of the week for me is that you and Jimmy are best friends.
It's a highlight of my week, too.
I did not see that coming.
I did. I've been planning it for years.
It just took a while.
So I guess we should wrap it up.
Yeah,
Brian?
let's wrap it up.
So are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Goo, 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 goo.